So, what happened to you last night? Why didn't you come up and say hi?
I don't really think that this is the time or the place.
Why not? Bruce knows what it's like to be stood up by a date, don't you, Bruce?
You better believe it.
Who said it was a date?
Oh, I don't know. Two people arranged to meet at a certain time in a certain place. I'd call that a date, wouldn't you, Bruce?
Yeah, I'd call that a date.
I'm not saying we're an item or anything. I was just wondering why you shot through. You didn't like the band.
We didn't arrange anything. I said I might turn up. It was not a date.
Okay, so if you didn't like the band, why don't you just come out and say...
The band was fine. Do you really get off on that? Is that how you like to spend your free time?
Playing music? Yes, as a matter of fact. It's relaxing and it's something...
No, I'm not talking about music. I'm talking about that place and those people.
It's just a gig.
The smell of cigarette smoke and vomit and stale beer?
Yes, well, it's a pub.
A bunch of animals screaming and yelling and grovelling. It's very unhealthy.
We take what we can get. So it's not Carnegie Hall. So what?
If that's where you like to spend your free time, Doctor, then I really don't think we've got a lot in common.
You're a snob, Brie.
Disgusting. It's like incest. A son's sperm and a daughter-in-law's eggs. It's worse than incest. Do you think we should call the family and see if Donna's okay?
You're in an emergency department. We don't make house calls.
I mean, she'll be in her mid-60s when he starts school, her mid-70s when he gets to his teens. It's ridiculous. In they come. Patch them up, send them off. What was your name? Oh, don't worry, we're not interested anyway.
I'm happy to put up with the naivety of interns. What I will not accept is being judged by them.
I loathe interns.
It's just so unnatural. It's like she's this Frankenstein. I mean, her body is old. Imagine the strain.
Imagine the cost.
Oh, thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Imagine the child.
What?
Politics, morals, ethics, science. Oh, there is a child, isn't there? After it's born, what does it matter how it came about? It exists, and all the theory and argument becomes rather irrelevant and a little bit silly, don't you think?
You old softy.
Not at all. I just happen to believe that science is magnificent, and anything it can do, we should embrace without fear.
But it's disgusting.
Interns and nurses. Life would be so peaceful without them.
To the club 2 days ago, and he's been on a binge ever since. Nobody was game to try and stop him. He got up to go back to his boat this morning. He fell and knocked his head on the way down.
What's his name?
Oh, mate, everybody just calls him Blowtorch. He lives on a boat somewhere up Dunwich way.
Blowtorch! Can you hear me, mate? Blowtorch! Oh, he's still breathing. Pure bloody alcohol by the smell, but it's amazing he's still alive.
Yeah, just barely. Any idea how much he's had to drink?
Like I said, he came in 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I came on at 8:30 last night, and he's drunk 2 bottles of tequila since then.
All right, you see this scar?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to intubate him. I'd die of bloody alcohol poisoning if I tried. He's got some sort of gag reflex.
Well, can't we just fly with him like this?
Yeah, I suppose so. OK, we keep him on his side.
Yeah.
We sedate him as necessary. Let's get him a drip on him now.
I don't know, I'm just feeling a bit ordinary.
You couldn't be a little bit more specific?
I'm just off, you know.
Possible ruptured testicle. Apparently he was entertaining at some breakfast party and one of the guests took a dislike to his routine and kicked him in the balls.
Why is he still in this costume?
Ambos couldn't get him out quickly.
He's burning up in there. We're going to need some cutting gear to get him out of this ridiculous chicken thing. He looks like a moron.
Has anyone seen Dr. Buchanan this morning? Gee, it would have been, back in the late 70s when I decided to create Butt Cemetery. Long before smokers were ghettoised the way they are now. Bit of a visionary, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Are we sitting here to reminisce, Harry, or is there a point to this?
The ultrasound come up normal?
What ultrasound?
Donna Constanzo's.
Why do you ask?
Just a little concern with your, what some might say, reckless approach to the issue of termination.
Termination?
We were considering whether or not to perform a caesarean on a patient. With the greatest respect, Harry, this is none of your business.
Well, with the greatest of respect, old son, it is. Congratulate me. I've just become Bethlehem West's Chief Executive Officer.
Congratulations.
I might add that your patient would not have consented to the proposed caesarean, something you didn't take into consideration with your decision-making. In fact, you ignored the legal advice.
My decision-making is based on medicine, Harry.
I know you're keen to show us all that you've got this red-adair reputation as a can-do bloke, but you almost performed an operation that could have endangered a life, most likely have terminated another, thrown the entire hospital into a legal nightmare. It was all for nothing. Patient walked out of here. That's she and the baby intact. Now, I don't need a crash through or crash approach in this department. I don't need it, and I won't tolerate it.